You are listening to the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, and life-giving relationships. Why focus on relationships? Because the quality of our intimate partnerships and close connections influences our health, happiness, and longevity more than anything else in our lives. Relationships matter a lot, so together, let's jump into the mud, aka our messy relationships, pull some weeds, plant some seeds, and create an enriching environment where strong relationships can take root. I am your grateful host, Dara Posner. I am a relational disaster working toward relational mastery. I am also a positive psychology coach, a relational mindset coach, a blogger, and now a podcaster. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, life-giving relationships. If you are a fan of this podcast, please subscribe, follow, like, review, and share. Your engagement in this way is crucial to the success of the podcast, and I appreciate you taking just a few seconds to support my mission, which is to help people like you flourish in life and love. Hello, and thank you for joining me back here on another episode of the Embrace the Mud podcast. I'm really excited to share today's topic with you because it is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. I'm noticing it pretty frequently in my coaching relationships with the couples and individuals I work with doing relationship coaching. And I've been thinking about it because it makes me so sad. It makes me sad because it's this sneaky pattern that can develop in relationships, and it is so destructive. And the thing about it is, like, you don't even see it coming, and you don't really recognize it when you're in it. It's almost like living in, just an illusion, right? That you are fully bought into and that you think it's true. It's like being hypnotized or something like that. And it's so difficult to break out of once you're in it. So I want to introduce you to this destructive pattern today, and I want to help you avoid finding yourself in this position. And if you're in it, hopefully get you out. So what is this destructive, sneaky pattern that I'm talking about? It's called negative sentiment override. We'll just call it NSO, okay? And that's the term that's used to describe this pattern that can emerge in relationships when negative interpretations and perceptions overshadow positive ones, leading to a skewed and negative view of one's partner and the relationship as a whole sometimes as well. So NSO can be likened to wearing like tinted glasses that distort the way that you see and interpret your partner's words and their actions. The impact of this on couples can be really significant because it erodes the most important and precious thing that we have in relationships, and that is trust. And once that becomes eroded, the intimacy starts to wane, and there's a really tremendous lack of emotional connection. When NSO takes hold, couples can find themselves in a cycle of constant criticism, defensiveness, and contempt, leaving very little room for empathy and understanding and positive interactions that build trust and that forge that emotional intimacy and connection. Over time, this can create a very toxic environment where both partners are feeling unheard, invalidated, and emotionally distant. So if you can relate to that at all, I am hoping that the next few things I'm going to share will help you nurture a healthy relationship and help you just have some strategies in place to get off that track of NSO back into a place of, really reality, where you can begin to see your partner in a relationship for all that it is. It might have its struggles and its weaknesses, and your partner has their flaws and their weaknesses, but also being able to reflect once again and tune into and be attentive to and appreciative of the positives that exist within the person that you love and are in a relationship with, and within the relationship as well. Okay, so what can help to avoid finding yourself in this miserable, destructive trap called negative sentiment override? Well, the first thing is really just to cultivate awareness and mindfulness. When you're addressing NSO, you need to become aware of its presence. You need to know that it's happening. You have to notice the negative thoughts, the assumptions, the interpretations that arise during interactions with your partner. And so by being mindful of your own reactions and emotional state, you can catch that negative bias before it takes hold and influences your behavior. The second thing is to communicate with empathy and openness. Obviously, effective communication is vital just overall in relationships, but it's particularly important in combating negative sentiment override. So you want to engage in open and honest conversations with your partner. You want to express your feelings, your needs, and your concerns without resorting to criticism or contempt. And you want to practice active listening and validating your partner's perspective, even when you disagree, really trying to put yourself in their shoes and seeing the world through their lens. Empathy and understanding can help create a safe space where both of you can feel heard and valued in the relationship. The third thing you could do is deliberately foster positivity and gratitude in your relationship. And this will require you to actively seek out the positive aspects of your relationship and of your partner. Express appreciation for your partner's efforts, any acts of kindness that you see, any positive qualities that you value in them. By focusing on the positive, you can counterbalance the negative bias and reframe your perception of your partner and the relationship. And the fourth thing you can do is seek professional help if you need it. If negative sentiment override persists and you notice that it's really significantly impacting your relationship, seek professional help from a trained therapist or a coach that can really just, give you the support that you need in getting your relationship back into a balanced state. Somebody who understands what is happening can provide guidance and tools and techniques to help both you and your partner overcome negative patterns in your relationship and restore that precious emotional connection that you both need and strongly desire. So just in summary, negative sentiment override can be a very destructive force in relationships, can lead to emotional disconnection and dissatisfaction. But by cultivating awareness and fostering positive communication, and if necessary, seeking professional help, you can overcome NSO and create a more loving and fulfilling partnership. It takes effort and commitment from both partners to break free from negative patterns and build a strong, resilient bond. But it only takes one person to really begin to create enough change to shift things significantly so that you create an environment where change and growth are possible for you both. So let compassion guide your interactions, let understanding overshadow negativity, and let love flourish in the renewed connection between you and your partner. Well, I hope this helped you today to learn a little bit about negative sentiment override if you haven't heard of it before. And I will be back very soon with another short and helpful episode for you. In the meantime, please remember, you are wired for love and connection. You are capable of love and connection. You are worthy of love and connection. I'll see you next time.